Hello, everybody, and welcome to Millennial Homesteader. I am Audrey, and this is
Masana.
Yes, and today we want to talk to you about how our family almost sabotaged our homesteading journey.
Yeah, a bunch of saboteurs. Huh?
I know sabotage comes off bit of a stronger word.
It's a strong word.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because usually it's kind of like crossed with intention, like
Yeah.
it's intentional. But in our case, it's not really intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. But what does that mean?
Okay, so sabotage in our case, right? Remember, we have a goal to be financially independent and go through this whole homesteading journey. So for us, anything or words that are trying to deviate us are actually sabotage.
Yeah, and where would that come from? Like in our case, like
Okay,
where's it
so-
come? Where's the sabotaging?
Really
Coming-
stemming from.
Yeah.
Okay, so in our case, what we realize is that, it's as we said, it's not intentional, but what's happening is that the family really wants to protect us. So they're trying to, guide us by, allowing us to make decisions that will not ruin our lives subsequently.
Yeah.
But then the other context is that, we're from an African context. So, all of what we're doing right here is actually poverty. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but the thing is, they work very hard to get us into the city so that we get the good jobs and we drive the nice cars and get the big houses. So when you move from the city after getting, all those things, and then you say, well, I want to go to the rural area and then have a farm and then chickens and goats, they're like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. By the way, I don't know if you can hear the sound of the hadedas. They're up there and they're actually scaring our chickens. I don't know if I'm trying to zoom in. Right there.
Yeah, the electrical poles up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and they're scaring our chickens. The chickens are actually hiding. I want to show them the chickens. Don't be scared, guys. Now they're hiding in this corner because of the sounds. They're really protecting each other. Yes, so enough, and let's get back to the sabotage. We want to speak about our experiences because you and I obviously are like different people, different families, and the experiences were completely different.
They were.
What kind of sabotage did you experience from your side?
Okay, so my family, right? Initially, I called, and I was telling them that, I'm working on, we're working on getting a property, and it's still in the pipeline, and and eventually, after I told them the whole story, they said that they hope it actually fails, like it doesn't come through. And so you might be wondering, well, why? That just sounds mean and, evil or so on. But here's the thing. My parents grew up in a very rural place, right? They moved to Guyane, which is a bit of a town. Then they worked very hard to take me into the city, to work in Johannesburg and so on. So now when I said, well, I'm going back into the rural areas, it was like, bro, we just took you out of here. Like, you're going back to Limpopo 2.0.
Yeah.
So why would you do that?
Exactly. Yeah, and what else? I mean, there was like a bunch of stuff that happened.
We've had a couple of things, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when the family actually visited here.
Yeah.
And then they actually saw the house. Like, they actually saw the house and then they walked through and, I remember one family member said, oh, so you guys live in a shack, right? And we were so heartbroken.
And then the question was, when are you going to start building?
When are you guys going to start building?
Like,
Yeah.
for us, it didn't make sense because we were just so happy. Like, we were just so excited to have a place. I don't know.
It was a place of our own.
Yes.
Right? It had lots of space. So, this is 2 hectares. So we're like, you guys, this is under 2 hectares. Like,
Yes.
Is this not awesome? But they were like, so you're going to build on there?
Yeah.
When are you going to start building? And
Yeah.
it was so disheartening for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of the experiences. I mean, are we just going to take a walk into the coops so that we can maybe take this whole video in the coops because it's really hot
It is
out
hot
here.
out here, yeah.
Yes.
We're going to come in here.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one
this one. Yeah. This place is nicer. Okay. So I think from my side, I think the challenge was because we are on we're trying to be financially free. We need financial freedom, so we're trying to be debt free and so forth. And then there was a lot of talks about why would you pay off a car or pay off a house so quickly so that you you could just be free
Yeah.
when you could use that money to do other things. Because for us, we were really trying to focus on, oh my goodness, the chickens.
The lay.
Let's go see if they're eggs.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
No, it didn't lay. Hopefully it did, but yeah. Ah!
Oh no.
What did I just do? But these are like traditional eggs, so you still are able to eat it, you know, because
Eggs
the
are
membrane,
eggs.
no, the membrane is like so strong. Let me see over here. There's no eggs here. But this coop is just so dirty. It is just, it needs a bit of cleaning. The chickens are roosting over here, and then these are our laying boxes and stuff like that. And it's just way too small for them because there's like 30 of them in here. So yeah, it makes it pretty difficult to, yeah, it's hot. It makes it pretty difficult for them to enjoy it here. Okay, so back to it. So we are on a debt-free journey, and our families are obviously questioning why would want to pay off debt so quickly when we could do other things with the money. Yeah, you know, paying off a house which is 800,000, you know, we have to pay it off quickly because normally a house has to be paid off through
30,
like 30
something years,
exactly.
yeah.
So for us, the goal was within 2-3 years the house is done. Then they're like, well, why won't you just use the money to do other things? And then another thing I think from our side, because for both of us, we are the first child in our families, so there is this need to inspire the kids to make sure that our siblings like feeling
they go in the right path.
Exactly.
Right? Like we're supposed to lead that path, and so there's this pressure from us, right, to kind of show like, look, you have to work hard, you have to go to school, then you have to stay in a job, usually a corporate job, then get a job, I mean, like get a car in the house, and you know, like kind of be normal and conform to society. So
Exactly.
there is that pressure for us. You know?
Yes, and it's so I think for me, from my side, there was a lot of pressure, you know, for them to come here and see where we are living, because in Joburg the house is bigger, it's nice and everything, and then they would come here and then they'll see Sis Odi living like this, and it's like, what are we doing like this?
You just look poor.
You look poor. Yeah, and that was such a big deal for us. So yeah, and they don't even realize it, like our families, when they're putting that pressure on us, you know, that Sis Odi is doing great, you know, Sis Odi has moved to a plot, you know, it looks weird, but you know, and you know, it's not intentional, but then it hurts. And then another thing is, it's not necessarily our families with this one, but it's, you know, friends and people from work, etc. Where I work, I've heard people say, we need to feel like, you know, our manager has arrived, you know, with the fancy car, because my car is paid off. It's small, it's old, it's over 8-9 years old now. And then it's like, why didn't you just buy a car so that it feels like, you know, you are doing really well? And for us, that's not the goal. And it really sucks. And friends and families don't realize that when they put that pressure on you, because at some point, you know, you feel like, maybe I need to buy a car. Maybe I need to show that I'm doing well.
I'm actually successful.
Exactly. And a lot of the things that we do them for our families. When you go back home, you want
to show
exactly
that you are successful, right? So for example, where I'm from, right, like, you know, usually the kids will go visit their parents at the end of the year, around Christmas and everything. And so what happens is that they will drive with their Mercedes Benz and the BMWs, and they will park it outside of the home, right? And so, you know, the whole community will then know that, okay, well, you know, this one is the Ricotso's, you know, son, and the Ricotso's son drives a BMW. So then the community will go, oh wow, that means the Ricotso's have raised a kid who is successful, and they've raised them well, and they're doing well. So now when we go home, or when we, you know, show up in places, there's kind of that pressure to be like, well, look, like we are doing fine. We
Yeah,
are being,
we are
successful.
fine,
But
yeah.
the thing is that homesteading is it moves us away from the traditional,
Yeah, type
view
of
of what
success.
success really is.
Exactly. And I think the other thing is a lot of the times our families don't realize that Masana and I's goal is very short. We are on a financial journey. We are trying to make sure that we don't have debt by a certain year, right? And we don't want to work for the rest of our lives until we're in our 60s. And it makes no sense for us to have a house on a bond that is going to end, because we are now in our 30s, that's going to end in 30 years when we are now in our 60s. We want to enjoy our lives. And by 60, we don't want to necessarily be working, the more traditional jobs. So for us, our work lifespan is very short. And then for other people out there, it's long, because you can drag up that lawn of yours for that long, for however long you want. But for us, we can't, because we have a couple of years left. Technically, we have about 10 years.
And I mean, one of the other things as well is that the family also don't always realize when they are being saboteurs, right? Or, when they're discouraging and saying these things. So for example, in our case, they came and they looked around the place, and then I remember they said something like, you're gonna build. No, they said something like, well,
you eventually
move out. Right? Because this is, this is a phase.
Yes.
This is a passing phase. You guys wanted to see how it looks like to play with chickens and goats. Eventually, this phase will go away. And then eventually you're going to want to come back.
Exactly.
Be normal, like normal people, and then get a home in Santon and get your, Mercedes-Benz, 2 Mercedes-Benzes and whatever. I think, there's that concept as well. And, when they say those things, it can be a bit hurtful, because it then makes you again question, like, am I really doing the right thing? Are they really proud? Are they really happy? And if we look back, like again 10 years from now, and we're still doing exactly this, will they really be happy?
Exactly. I think that's the thing. A lot of the times your vision is not other, because it's not other people's vision, they won't be able to see it immediately. So we just we still have those feelings when our family says something, it kind of hurts us, and then we start thinking about when are we going to start building? We've been planning this for a while, and then we're like, but we have all these savings that we want to put away, what do we do? And we have all these other plans, but then we've now learned to just go with the flow, do what works best for us. And if people like our vision, they're going to join along the way. They'll catch up, man.
Yeah, they will catch up.
They'll catch up.
It will make sense when, all the electricity and the water stops doing the things that it needs to do.
It's already making sense, because you cannot tell me an area in Joburg that is not struggling with water right now. In Guyana, it's been
it's
there
been
are
like
certain
that
areas
for years, right?
Exactly. So there is really, I think we have the best life right now, and we don't even have everything completed. So just imagine when we've actually built here,
and we've done the things we need to, and the place looks the way it needs to.
Exactly.
It will eventually make sense, and even if it doesn't, right? This is our vision, basically. But we did this so that we could make sure that the family is actually taken care of. So if anything does happen and they have to be here, I think in the long term they will thank us, even if it doesn't really make sense entirely.
Absolutely. And that's it.
That was really it. This is a very big part of the homesteading journey. So, we kind of bring this up because once you decide you want to go into homesteading, the family, right, the ones you think will be the biggest supporters, will be like the biggest champions and want to move with you and support you, might probably be the first people who will go, we don't think that's a good idea. It
doesn't make sense.
This is stupid. Why would you want to do that? And at that time, you will feel very vulnerable. You'll feel like, the energy was sucked out of you. But the thing is that if you do have a vision, and this doesn't apply to homesteading, this is just anything you want to do. If you want to run a marathon or you want to do something big, your family might be the first ones who say, we don't think you have
bro.
it. What about your knees? Oh, you've never done it. You're always lazy, or you don't have the thing. What about the money? They do that because they love you, obviously. They care about you, right? So they want to protect you from failure, from pain. But the thing is that, we're growing through the pain and through that failure.
Exactly. And this is just a testament that if you are going to start something, be around like-minded people. You know, for us, being friends with Janine and Gavin from Cockville was very helpful. Creating a community on Instagram was also very helpful because we didn't feel so alone anymore. So if you want to run that marathon, maybe start being friends with runners. Marathoners. You know, if you just want to try out this gardening stuff, start being friends with people who are gardening. You know, you need to create that environment. You need to you need to create a space where it fosters your dream a little bit better than, you know, what would have happened if you didn't have those people in your circle. Absolutely. But we're not saying that our family don't support us. They've really come through now.
They love us. Like, I mean, they're super supportive. They're super, super, like, you know, helpful. They wish the best for us. Our family would do anything for us. But it's just that when it comes to some things that are a bit audacious like this, they won't have the vision, right? And some of the things they say, you know, without it being, you know, malicious or anything, it hurts, right? And we still reflect on it. But, you know, they're coming around a little bit. And you know, we really do look forward to hosting them when this place has like really been built up and it looks the way it is, you know. And
that's it. Thank you for watching. If you're already doing this, let us know how your family reacted to this. Let us know how your partner even reacted to this. You know, your husband, your wife, your grandmother, your sister, whoever. Let us know how they reacted to this. Do they think you're crazy?
You might be a little bit crazy though. But, you know, we hope you like, share, and subscribe. And then we'll see you again next time. Bye. Bye.